like that. It's a lot of money, why are you mad like that? Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't get too bad, my bad. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Friday, payday, run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. I cop a car, I run it back. Go your then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello, that's the check calling. Let me click over real quick to let my check talk it. I eat it, ooh, Pac-Man. That's the way my neck talking, right? I ain't never coming back the way the stress. You don't make no clap back when you backpack my bad, but I'm past that. But a NASDAQ, that's cash. When the money fall, I'ma slap that. Clap when the money go, you don't slap. That's fast as the money.
Well, Coach, the seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Detroit Lions. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Check out. Green 80.
Here we go.
25. Check 25. Check 25. Hey, check that. Check that.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Luck. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 45. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Steps away to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
Watch 57. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Mike's 57. 57's Mike. Let's go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now?
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
57. I'm here all day. 57's the Mike. Hard. Record.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down.
Get it.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
At the Dolphins' 5-yard line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
57's the mic. Watch 57. You're trapped.
2nd and 5. And it's caught. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his 11th touchdown of the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a great return. Solid field position. He's up all the way to the 45-yard line.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. A run with Gurley there on 1st down. Going to get about 4 yards. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Gurley takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 50, it's long. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're getting ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They give to Johnson going right. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
What we got? What we got? What we got? Check. Fair. Hot. Check 24. Check 24. 57. Mike, 57. Watch the curve. Ready.
Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards.
First down. First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Final 30 seconds of this first quarter, and it's been a quarter dominated by the guys with the football. He'll look to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 2nd and 2. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
The first down carry here for Johnson. The tackle there by John Johnson. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
A gain of 4.
Hey, box truck.
After 27.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Going for it all. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
57 to Mike. 57. Get it.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And his throw here's incomplete. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete.
57 to Mike. Watch your slack. Watch your slack. Guard. Back. Alert 3. Clear. Deep dribble.
They'll look to throw here. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 17-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
60 Pittsburgh. His team showed up.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. From 17 yards out. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Elliott now to add the extra point.
Now that touchdown won't allow you to totally relax, but you can breathe a little easier now. Just increased their lead.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. One. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. On the return, Carter. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget.
Hey, exit. Ready?
They'll drop the throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the gun, here's Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
A loss of 8 yards. It's 2nd down.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down.
Monday. 12.
Out of the gun, Love. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Here comes Carter. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster, 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled. This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Luck now to throw, and they'll set up the screen to Gurley. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Well, that 2nd down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. A shotgun snap for Luck. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Taking it about the 16. Now a hit and a loose football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
57. Took the ball.
Bravo.
Check 50. Check 50.
Snap.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
58's the mic. 58's the mic.
He'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get into that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now it's Love. Robinson's got him. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. The final shot before the break. Luck. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he is out of bounds here on the return.
There we go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there for Detroit. 52 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Rolling to his left. That's going to be caught. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A good pickup there at 22. 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 28-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. This pass into the hands of the running back, Todd Gurley. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Luck. He's got his tight end, Burton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
12. 11 Z.
Here's Luck. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, Luck. He's going to get this to Austin, complete. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
A throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson, and it's second down.
At the 40-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 90 Wolf.
Coming, baby, I'm coming, baby. Woo!
Second and 10. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Ready?
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Carter. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 22-yard line. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10. He'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
Hey, Haywood. Step.
Back to throw now on second and 10. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Now back to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Looking to throw. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Khalil Mack. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. Oh, offensive nightmare there. You go for it on 4th, and the play doesn't even really get to develop a sack.
And it's so unfortunate, too, because you think you've got something good called, but if your offensive line can't hold up, that's often the result. They find a way back to the quarterback.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Now Luck. And he whips that one incomplete there.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big gain of 31 on third down. To throw is Luck. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
After the sack, it's second and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Back to throw, Luck. And the pressure gets to him again.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4. Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been terrific so far. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll set up to throw. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here's Cameron. And look at this, it's a fake. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position.
It's just me and you. It's just one for that.
Luck on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play. On the football there, and it's second down.
Intended for Kendrick Bourne. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Here's Locke. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Long. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And nothing there on the return. They got the football, but they'll have to start this drive at their own 4-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
22 jet bomber.
Defense. Check, check.
Rocket.
Check. Shift.
Shoot.
Got to be careful here, backed up this deep on 3rd down. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Lane. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Check out. 390.
Watch the run. He's crashing.
Let's go, Mexico. Check out.
After the interception, it's Love. This one into the hands of Burton. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing is Love. And Luck will be intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off around the 27. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This is taken at his 4. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. From the pistol, it's Gurley. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd, and his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 33. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. And the incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Elliott on for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting. And even better execution. Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Here's Matt Hawk now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This will be fielded at the 17. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first. And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play. So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Locke. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Hey, Zoo!
Now it's Locke. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. He'll return it from the 6. And nothing but daylight ahead. 20, 10, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand. You seem a little squeamish about that last score. I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them. I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff. And the Dolphins are going to recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it. And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when
Coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.